I made gambling in Minecraft, and you guys liked it. So much so that I got numerous requests asking me to make a tutorial on how to do it. And of course, I'm more than happy to show off my amazing creation again. Didn't think I'd get 2 whole videos out of this, but I am. So this video will be a tutorial on how to make this monstrosity of a machine. It's actually quite simple as well. And before we start, I just want to say that it is quite evident this machine is not exactly resource friendly. It hasn't been optimized or anything. So feel free to make as many changes as you want, because gosh, you're probably going to need it. And by the way, just so you all know, my Discord will be linked in the description, the first link that you will find there. If you need any help or just need, some advice on how to build this, anything like that, just join the Discord. I'm so active there. I will be down to help. Anything, if you have any questions or concerns, just let me know and I will be there in a jiffy, okay? Okay, so the first step is you're gonna... Oh my gosh. Did I install something? This is... Okay, we're going to ignore that for now. I've just updated my game. Apparently, I've installed something. So what this will do is you put your payment in here if you want to make your game paid. So someone will put, for example, a diamond in here. And what it'll do is if you put a comparator here and a hopper leading into it, and then underneath, you put your barrel there, and then your hopper leading into there. So you've got one hopper going that way and the other going that way. And then you build out that little shape with whatever block you want. Most of this will probably be underground in your own build. I'm just doing it above ground so you can sort of see what's going on. Put redstone here and here, and then a repeater in there. And then finally, a redstone torch in there. Then you get 21 items, and you just put them... Doesn't matter how many are in each slot, as long as there are 21 items in total in the last 4 slots. And then we get 2 of whatever you want your people to pay with. They have to be stackable items. I'm using diamonds here, so we put 1 in there and 1 in there. Now what you'll see is if I put a diamond in here, it goes all the way into this barrel without changing anything here. And it activates a redstone signal here. And it's the only item that I can put in that it'll accept oak planks. I would highly recommend sort of renaming your items here to something completely random so they can't just put in oak planks and be like, hey, I paid without paying. Then we put a block here, put redstone dust on here so it's activated, and then a redstone torch here, and that torch turns off. Now it's supposed to be like that, okay? And then you get a copper bulb and put it here, or anywhere nearby, and have this redstone leading into it. Now what you'll see is if I get my payment item and I put 1 in, it gets accepted, and that is going to show what's on. This is going to represent that the machine is turned on and it's currently playing. Now we also have to build a system to turn that back off when the game is over, and I'll show you how to do that in a while. So now you can see it only turns on or off when you put a diamond in there. And again, you can use any item you want as long as it's a stackable item. You can't just use like swords or something because it won't go in here and it won't go in here. Next, what we need to do is add a comparator here and a redstone repeater there. Now this bulb outputs a redstone signal when it's turned on. Then you're going to build out 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put an observer facing towards the redstone at the end. Then what you need to do is get the 3rd piece of redstone away from the observer. So 1, 2, 3, and break it, and then break the block underneath. And then after the broken block, count 1, 2, and then put another piece of redstone here. Actually, it might be better to put a repeater here, and then put a piece of redstone, then another one, and then a sticky piston, and then put redstone in the little gap there and a block of your choice on top. Now, as you can see, this redstone here is powered, but this is not. And if we break this block, then this becomes powered again. And that'll come in handy in a little while. Now comes the ridiculous part. And keep in mind, you can change this for a system that you deem more efficient. Or if you want the game to, last longer or shorter, you can add more or less repeaters in this part. You need to add 78 repeaters all on their last stage here. A daunting process, I know. If you want to add more, it'll make the game longer. If you add less, it'll make the game shorter. So I'm just going to add 78 repeaters here, and I'll see you in a little while. And if it helps, this equates to 1 stack and 14 repeaters. There we go. 78 repeaters, and keep in mind they all have to be on the last stage of the tick. So the second torch has to be pushed as far back as it can go. Now remember, you can change this again just to whatever timer you want, but you will have to then configure that to fit with the bit that's going to turn the lights on and off to show you the countdown, how long the game's going to go. If you even want to build that part, because that part's just cosmetic. You don't really need that part. That's just something I wanted to build, and I will show you how to do that later. Anyway, now once you've done this, you get your redstone and try and get it to go towards this copper bulb. I might be stretching this a little bit. Okay, I got 13. The signal's still gonna make it. So basically what this does is once you put a diamond in here and this block gets activated, it sends a signal over here, and this observer detects it puts the redstone signal through all of these repeaters, and then it eventually comes back and turns off the game. Turns this bulb back off, which turns off the game. And once we have the game turned off, I can now show you why we have this little system here. Now, what this does is it prevents the entire game from just, you know, ending and then starting straight up again. So if we put our diamond in there and it activates this, it will turn this redstone signal on and it will activate this observer because this redstone has become lit and it detects that. Now, once this redstone signal comes all the way back and it turns that off, this redstone will turn back off and it will see that and it'll think to start the game again and it'll send a redstone signal all the way through. So if I set the tick rate to really slow and I put our diamond in here and we watch this as it turns on, you will see that it lets it activate, but then it turns it off. So what this does is it turns this signal off straight away so that when this gets all the way back, it'll turn this off and it won't detect anything else. And it does it so fast enough that it doesn't even output 2 signals straight away. It just does the one. I don't know if I'm doing a great job explaining that, but trust me, this is like one of the biggest systems in the entire game that you need just to prevent it from looping, turning off and then back on again. Trust me, please. Oh, this is really weird. What if I set it to 1? Oh gosh. Oh, okay, enough messing around. Next, we have to set up the game itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a redstone thing there. My dogs are barking right now. I don't know if you could hear that. And then we put a normal repeater here and then another one, but then set it all the way to the full delay. And then an observer facing into that. So it will detect when this one turns on. Then we need to put another observer here and a piston here and a block of your choice there and a piece of redstone there and remove this block. This isn't as difficult as it sounds, trust me. Then we put a piece of redstone there and there. Then a repeater with a 1 tick delay on it there and a normal piston here. So it should look like this, okay? Then what we need to do is go over to this copper bulb, put a comparator, then a piece of redstone, break the block in front of it, and put a torch. Then put a piece of redstone there, so that's powered. Bring it over here, and so it'll activate the piston. I'll explain why in a few minutes. Now get 2 or more blocks of your choice. I'm going to go for warped planks and mangrove planks. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place them in a pattern. So we go 1, 2, 3, then a redstone block, then 1, 2. It really doesn't have to be a pattern. You can even just use the same blocks, you know, just like that. But I prefer to have it as a pattern because this is the part that's going to be going round and round. And this does have to be a redstone block here. Then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I haven't lined this up properly. So I'm actually going to fix just the pattern here. There we go. Okay, that looks better. Now, just a reminder, each of these 3 corners here have to stay empty for now. This one is fine to be filled. Then what you want to do is on the last block before the gap, put an observer facing into the block, and then 2 pieces of redstone, another one, and then a repeater with a 1 tick delay there. I'm not sure if that's actually 1 tick, but, you know, 1 tap, click it once, and then a piston facing outwards. So, well, into the machine. Now just do the same for each corner. Put 2 pieces of redstone here, another one there, a repeater with 1 tick delay, and there, then, you know, another one there, and boom. Now, just a note, these repeaters, you can change the delay on them. I have it set to the second one. It just changes the speed at which this goes around. You want to be careful though, because if you do it too fast, it could break. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't tested it, so do it at your own risk. I just think 2 is the sweet spot. Or, you know, the first click, whatever it is, this one, and it should look like this. Now, so what happens here is when we activate the game, this turns on, this outputs a redstone signal, which then turns off this torch, pulls this piston back, and at the same time, this line will activate this observer, and a redstone signal will be outputted here, and then this piston will activate, sending this forward, activating this one, sending that forward, activating that one, activating this one, and over again until the game turns itself off. So I can show you how this works now. If we put a diamond in, I'm gonna turn on the delay again just to show you. We put a diamond in, this turns on, that turns off, this gets activated, that gets pushed, that gets pushed, that gets pushed. This is a normal piston feed tape is what it's called. It just constantly goes around in a loop, just over and over again. And now we can see it in full time. It's just doing that over and over until this redstone signal comes all the way back and it'll turn the game off. And if we watch the signal now, it's coming to the end. It'll turn that off. And see, it turns everything off. If you've done it correctly, and I think you should have, you're a very smart person, okay? I'm very proud of you that you've gotten this far, okay? It should all be working for you. Now, the next part we're going to do is making the functionality of the game so it's, you know, winnable. You can actually win by chance. So where you put the redstone block originally, you need to break the blocks underneath it just like that. So remember, that's 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks first, and then where your redstone block was. And you're going to want to put your redstone underneath, okay? Then we're going to send the redstone signal upwards, put a sticky piston, not there, and a block of your choice. And we're going to put a piece of redstone dust there and a redstone torch there, so that when this gets activated, it hovers over the redstone torch. Then we'll have it go up a block into another redstone torch to turn it off. Then if we put a redstone lamp here, so we have this little thing going here, and we'll also put a dispenser here. Now, just so you know, do not replace this with a copper bulb, okay? And I'll show you why. So if, let's say, the redstone block lands here and you get a win, this will activate, it'll burn out the torch just on time, and that'll turn on. If that's a copper bulb, it'll stay on, and then on the next win, it'll just turn off, and you won't know. And if we do it again, I put the prize in, it stays on just long enough, and then it outputs our little diamond block or whatever you want your prize to be. Now remember, this can all be underground. I've just done it here to show you. And the thing about this system is it will start to activate if the redstone block goes over temporarily while it's spinning around. But the way it's set up is it won't activate because it still needs longer to stay there. So watch. There wasn't enough time for that torch to burn out, so it didn't activate a win. So it's fine to hover over it. And then one other thing I did, I put redstone down here just in the middle of the game, and then observers observing those pieces of redstone, and I just put copper bulbs on top. Now to show you what happens here, when the redstone block goes over, it'll activate, but only temporarily. After that, it'll turn back off. The main purpose of this is to have it so that when the redstone block lands and you get a win, these will stay on, just because, you know, it's not going to give a second update. When the redstone turns back off, these turn back off. See, there you have it. And if it stays there, then they stay on. As expected. Oh, I forgot about that. And apart from making the whole thing look nice, that's pretty much the entire game. Now, there was another bit I did promise to show you, and I will. This will be a little light countdown to show you how long the game is going to go for and how long left before it ends. Now, you can build this anywhere, but what you'll need to do is place 15 redstone lamps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and again, these can go anywhere. These can go underground. These can go in your wall or whatever. I'm actually going to move them to be closer. And then what we'll do is we'll put our redstone here. I've just dug down so it doesn't interfere with this. Is we run this into what is called a hopper clock. So what we do is we get a sticky piston and put a piece of redstone. A piece of redstone, that's a block of redstone, on the receiving end of it. Then we get a hopper, place it there, and a hopper into it, and then replace that with, so both hoppers are facing into each other. Then we get 5 stacks of ender pearls, or any stackable item that is only stackable to 16. I just chose ender pearls because they're, you know, really easy when you're in like sort of the long game Minecraft. And you'll notice that they're not moving to this hopper, which they should be, because this redstone block is stopping them from being moved, okay? That's a good thing. Now what we want to do is put a redstone comparator going out from the one that the ender pearls are in. You know what? Sorry, I haven't set up these redstone lamps properly. We'll put a piece of redstone dust there, and this has to be exactly the middle of wherever we want our lamps to be put. So if we put 1 here, we have to have 15 in total, with this being the middle one, okay? Now I'm actually going to move this whole thing because I've done it a bit too close to the main system. Sorry about that, but it's the exact same. I've just moved it over a little bit. Put our piece of redstone here. Then we'll put a repeater and then our lamps. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so now this little block here is the exact middle of our row of redstone lamps. Then we'll put redstone on these blocks just outside the redstone lamps, and repeaters facing into each one. And that's it. That's our timer system setup. It's quite simple. Now, if I put a diamond in here, you will notice that now this block is moved, and these are all going to start counting down very slowly until the end of the game, because these items are now being moved to here, and you'll see that this redstone signal is slowly being diminished, and these lights are slowly starting to turn off, as you can see. It does take a minute to get going, I've noticed, actually, until eventually, the end of the game, you can see that stopped, and well, there's still 3 lights going in the middle. It's a bit of an oversight on my part, but I'm sure you can fix it. As a matter of fact, you can actually extend this a bit further. Look at that, I didn't even know you could extend this. So you can extend it by 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only gonna do 5 on this one, on this side, because we have no space. But look at that. I didn't even realize. That's just because I have this sort of shaped around on the original build. So if I put a diamond in here, it's not symmetrical anymore. So you'll be able to see that only this side is getting turned off for the time being. There we go. And it will all eventually end in the middle light. And it's 2 friends apparently, which I'm not entirely sure why. I'm sure if you remove like half a stack of one of the ender pearls, it'll be fine. And that'll sort of fix it. So the game ends and, well, you still have those 3. You can fix it. You can configure, you can take a few ender pearls out and it should fix it at some point. Trial and error is how you do these things. And then short of cosmetics and making it all look good and fit into a build, you're done. That's it. It wasn't that difficult, was it? Not nearly a difficult redstone contraption. For a beginner, maybe. For a beginner, of course. And can you make this more efficient? 100%. Can make it so much more resource friendly. So you can change it so much. This could be such a better machine, but this is just the way I built it. I'm going to bump our tick rate up to 60, and you can now see how the game works. It all goes around and around. These lights turn off. That signal gets sent all the way around until eventually it turns the game off, and we didn't get a win, unfortunately. But what I will tell you is that every single block that it can land on here is landable. It can land on every single one of these blocks, and I tested it. Granted, that is with the amount of repeaters that I've added and the specific delay that I added to each one of these. Also, yeah, a note. Make sure that all of these are on the same delay, or else it will probably break the game. Whatever delay you want to have it set to, make sure they're all on the same one, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Well done. Thank you for staying to the end of the video, and I really hope you can scam your friends out of money in Minecraft. So if you do have it go round and round again, just like in your own creative world or something, you can record how long it takes to go from one block, from the starting block, all the way around and around again until it's back on the starting block. Because it is a set amount of times, trust me. If you set it up correctly, you can have it so it'll only pay out a certain amount of times played. For example, if you get someone play 18 times, so 1 diamond each time, then you've made 2 diamond blocks worth of diamonds, and each time it'll only pay out once. Now that's not the exact numbers that I have with this one. I'm not going to reveal those, but if you want to build it and try it for yourself, go ahead and you can find and log those numbers yourself. It's a very fun contraption to play with, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you all to death. Make sure to subscribe if you think it's worth it. And as I said, link in the description for my Discord if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, or even just need a little help building. I will always be there. I will always be active, and I can always help you. Hope you have a wonderful day. It's been so hot lately. The ice in my water on my desk right now is completely melted, and I'm so sad because it's hot. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you all to death, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.